All right, well, this is such a treat right now. Any serious discussion about who would belong on the Mount Rushmore of basketball has to include Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who I think is the greatest player of all time.
Yes, but as Kareem told us in his Hall of Fame induction speech, basketball stardom was not what he was aiming for when he began playing the game. Take a look.
When I started playing basketball, it was at a time when my parents and I had identified a college degree as a serious goal. I was in the 6th or 7th grade, and you know, my mom and dad told me, you know, you can probably get a scholarship to go to college, and that was it. I mean, I just had a way to cut down my expenses as an academic, and that was really all I was seeking.
Well, he got that scholarship, and UCLA got 3 straight national championships as a result. He was so dominant that after his freshman year, the NCAA banned dunking just to try to slow him down. Well, that didn't work. Nothing NBA coaches or players did to try to stop him really worked either. He's the league's all-time leading scorer. He's a 6-time MVP. That's a record. He won 6 NBA titles, 1 with the Bucks, and of course 5 with the Lakers.
And now, guess what? You can own a piece of that incredible history because Kareem is putting a lot of his basketball memorabilia up for auction. And guys, joining us now, the Hall of Famer Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That was an introduction for you. We just want to get to you.
Good morning.
Okay, we're going to get to all that other stuff, but you're selling stuff. Why are you selling your stuff?
I'm not in the museum business. I have too much of it. Everybody is curious about like what I have. I have so much stuff, so I'm going to put it out in public at goldenauctions.com, and you can anything that I won or achieved, you can probably find it. There's a catalog, and the auction lasts until October 27th.
So let's show you some of those things right now. Right now we're looking at, this is some of the stuff from UCLA and the Sports Illustrated covers when you dominated there. We've got the Naismith Player of the Year right there. We've got a game-worn jersey from the Milwaukee Bucks era of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We've got those infamous goggles that are a signature look. We've got championship rings, and we've got a ball, which was signed from you and from Wilt Chamberlain. And you brought some of the other stuff in here as well we want to show.
You have your UCLA ring here, and if they come back on camera. Here, pick that up, Kareem, because I can't reach over, but pick that one up. Hand that. Can I put that on?
Why not?
I mean,
it's not going to fit.
It's not. No, it might. Cause I have big. It does fit actually. I have big fingers. Don't push.
She gets one. I'll take the other one. So this is an NBA championship ring.
1982.
This is from 1982.
Okay, here's the camera one. Here we go. Can I ask you a question?
Which finger do you put this on?
I'm putting it on my middle finger, but you're selling all this stuff. Is there anything that you're keeping? You've gotten
there are a couple of things I'm keeping.
You got the Congressional Medal of Freedom from Obama.
Absolutely keeping that. But, you know, this is, I'm doing this to benefit my, my foundation. I send kids to camp so that they can learn STEM subjects and get an idea of where to get good jobs in the 21st century. I work with the LA Unified School District. It's called campskyhook.org. And we're sending now about 8,000 kids a year to camp. And I need money for buses and to pay the teachers and everything.
And of course, that's science, technology, engineering, and math.
And we take kids from the inner city here and send them to camp and get them to get familiar with these subjects and give them an idea of where to look for jobs and how to pay attention in school so they don't have to resort to crime and stuff. They can go out and get a real job.
Education is so important to you. We heard in your Hall of Fame speech, and obviously your foundations for that, but you have a famous saying. You said, I can do more than stuff a ball through a hoop. My greatest asset is my mind. And I tell my kids the 2 most important parts of their body are their heart and their brain. And it's so important to you. Why is education so important to you?
Education is important because it gives you the means to improve your life. Whatever you want to do that you can't do, if you educate yourself, you usually can take that next step. And that's a very important message for kids. Too often they're encouraged by their peers to take shortcuts, and that usually ends up in criminal activity that then puts them in jail.
And you've been such an activist for so long. Here you are receiving the Medal of Freedom from the President of the United States,
Yes.
Barack Obama,
Yeah,
at the
that's a
time.
great day.
And back in the 60s, there's this famous photo of you along with Bill Russell and Muhammad Ali and sort of the summit of a lot of African-American athletes coming together for activism. And now we see some of that coming back. We see Colin Kaepernick in the news with the kneeling, and we see a lot of African-American athletes coming to his defense. Where do you see things in this current moment, given the context, given your life experience?
Well, I think we're at a point here where we have forgotten how to communicate with each other. People think that, some people think that what Colin is doing is not patriotic. He's just trying to hold our country accountable for a very bad situation. Black Americans get killed by police officers for no good reason very often in this country, and that has to stop. And that's what Colin was trying to call attention to. And too many people try to twist it and say that he doesn't appreciate America. He wants America to live up to its incredible promise that we hold a beacon out to the whole world as to how our democracy functions.
And of course, now the Lakers have LeBron James coming, who is known as a great player, but also is an activist as well. Probably more so in a way than Kobe or Shaq or some of the more recent Lakers have been. We've seen the president sort of attack him on Twitter. We've seen him opening a school in Ohio. What do you make of LeBron James, the community activist, and do you plan on trying to work with him at all?
Oh, I definitely hope to coordinate with him, because the things that he's trying to do absolutely dovetail with what I'm trying to do. What you mentioned about an underperforming school in Akron, Ohio, LeBron's going to send them all to college if they can get there. He'll send them to college. That type of activism is awesome, and it shows our kids where to focus and how to improve things. And he's an incredible role model. We're so fortunate to have him here. He's going to mean a lot to our community beyond just hoops.
Okay, and here's the thing. You don't just, auction off your stuff. You're an author.
Yeah.
And you have this book
what are you
here,
holding there?
the Mycroft and Sherlock. It's the second in a series, and it's fiction. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the fiction author.
Yeah,
Tell us about this series and this book.
Well, I was into Sherlock Holmes from the time I was a kid. Me and my boys, when we were 7 and 8 years old, we used to watch the Sherlock Holmes Theater on Saturdays. We would never miss it. And until I was in high school and read one of Arthur Conan Doyle's stories, I didn't realize that Sherlock Holmes was not a real person.
It's true. I still, you don't realize
he's mail.
Yes.
He still gets mail from all over the world.
But you're a historian. You said the way you write this is you're a history buff, so you look back and you really dig deep.
But we have to understand Victorian England and London in the 1880s and 90s. So it's an interesting look back in time, and it's something that always fascinated me. And my dad was a police officer, so crime, oh my goodness. So I was always interested in crime fiction, and I finally took a swing at it, and this is the result.
I think you'll slam dunk that.
Yeah, I think, can you do some more things? Because I don't think you're doing enough.
I feel exhausted.
Thank you so much for all that you've contributed to this community. Again, that auction runs through October 27th.
Yes.
You can log onto the website. It's goldinauctions.com. Check it out, make a bid. And once again, a lot of the proceeds go into Kareem's Skyhook Foundation, which you can donate to as well.
You can get the goggles, the Kareem goggles. Is it sweaty, do you think? Is that from the airplane scene? Do you think? Is it? I just want to ask you about airplanes since I have you here.
The same type of goggles. They're safety goggles, but they really help me not be concerned about getting fingers poked in my eye.
Yeah.
Because